Ho 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 and a hey hey hey, it's that special time of the year again, the holiday special time! And by holiday, we really mean Christmas, you dirty pagans! That wonderful time of the year when all the people make their own Christmas-related episodes and videos and whatnots. The DCU Holiday Bash is exactly as it sounds. It's just a bunch of DC holiday stories. It's an anthology of different DC characters going about their holiday doings. So gather round, ye children, put on some fun but not annoying Christmas music, slap on your slippers, and chug down that spiked eggnog, because it's time for gift giving and lesson learning. Released in 1998, written by Devin Grayson, Chuck Dixon, Ty Templeton, Tony Isabella, Dan Jurgens, Howard Chaykin, Chuck Dixon again, Devin Grayson again, with Brian Stelfreeze, with art by William Rosado, Dave Taylor, Ty Templeton, Eddie Newell, Dan Jurgens, Rick Burchett, Russ Heath, and Brian Stelfreeze. Holy shit, it's like Infinity War with all these people. This is the DCU Holiday Bash number 2. Our story begins at the Sunnybrook Mall at 8 p.m. on December 24th, 1997. Meaning Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You song, released in 1994, is definitely playing over the loudspeakers. Connor Hawke, Green Arrow, and Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern, arrive at the mall for some last-minute Christmas shopping because Kyle's a bad friend who drug along Green Arrow on a fucking reindeer construct. Look, give Kyle all the flack you want, but at least his, Green Lantern constructs are sweet-as and creative. Kyle and Connor walk towards the entrance as Kyle tells him that he still hasn't gotten gifts for half of the JLA. Also, Connor's a Buddhist, so he doesn't really celebrate this shit, and he's like, I still don't understand why you brought me. So the duo walk inside the mall and Kyle spots a sale sign for a Wayne Tech Computer 3000 and he's like, cool, you think Batman needs one of those? As Kyle looks at a map of the mall, the electricity shuts off and the building goes dark. The heroes suit up and Kyle creates light and tells the people not to panic. Everybody remain calm. I'm sure it was just the generator. The emergency backups will be back on in a second. Maybe we can all remind ourselves about the, spirit of Christmas, and, spirit of Christmas, my ass, I was in the middle of a credit card transaction. Then some dude grabs a rifle from a gun store and tries to shoot Green Arrow. Luckily, Kyle creates a giant gummy bear to deflect it, and Green Arrow shoots an arrow into the man's foot. Then a nun makes her way over to the downed man as he pulls out a knife, right as Kyle constructs a Green Lantern action figure box set. Well, he takes the nun hostage and says this was all his doing. He and the supercomputer. Don't worry about that line, it doesn't come up at all. And everyone is staying inside until he decides otherwise. Then he calls the shoppers disgusting heathens. Oh, but you're pure, right? I mean, you shoot at superheroes and hold knives at the throats of nuns. But you know the true meaning of Christmas. I know what's important in life. Yeah? And what's that, huh? According to you. Love. Oh, for crying out loud! My love life's not exactly blue skies. And you don't see me holding malls hostage. The people stuck between the doors are going to run out of air soon. Meanwhile, Green Arrow is slammed against the glass doors by panicking people trying to escape. It's because he has more money than me. That's the only reason. That's all that matters. Just because I couldn't afford to get her that stupid bracelet. It doesn't matter how much I love her. You know? All she wants is what he can buy her. Green Lantern finally realizes Connor's situation after he just sort of sits there watching this crazy guy rant about something, and he corrals the people around a giant bow. The red-headed man says that he doesn't want to be a good person in a bad world and that it hurts too much, and Connor comes over all existence in all possible forms is suffering. That's the first of the 4 noble truths of Buddhism. Yeah, I know. Green Arrow. We get it. You're a Buddhist. The idea is to recognize that life itself is impermanent, and it's the very craving for permanence that makes you unhappy. I don't care about dying. I care about Maureen. It's the same thing. You're trying to hold onto something that isn't yours to possess. I know what it feels like. You've got to make peace with the present. The present? But that stupid bracelet ruined my life! No, not the present. The present. Right mindfulness. Let me show you. Oh, okay. In Buddhism, the dagger can be thought of as a symbol for overcoming negative forces. So, now in the present, the balance has shifted and negative forces have been overcome. What? That makes no sense! I want my knife back! Hey Yoda, it's time for the mall security and some electricians to take over. After the mall is back to normal, Kyle and Connor return to their shopping. And Kyle asks him what he wants, and Connor's like, I don't want anything. I'm confused. Tell me again what the purpose of these presents is supposed to be? Because I guess he just doesn't understand the basics of gift giving. Kyle says it's because they're friends and giving a present shows you're thinking about your friend, and Connor tells him, so why not just say that, Kyle? To me and the rest of the JLA. Instead of buying us gifts, take us each aside one by one and tell us that you appreciate us as friends. Nah. Did you see a mall floor plan anywhere? I've still got at least 6 stores to hit, though I'll admit I'm kind of stuck on soups. I was gonna draw him a picture of Krypton, but I couldn't figure out how to ask him what it looked like without, tipping him off. So now I'm thinking maybe some kind of action figure set or something. At a Gotham synagogue, a boy and his parents walk through the large crowd of people on Hanukkah night. As the ceremony is beginning, a rabbi dressed as a butler walks down the aisle with the jar of oil for the menorah when a man screams, "Nobody move!" and nobody dies. The man races to the donation box and screams for everybody to get down as he swings his handgun wildly. Then he makes his way out of the back door and into the alley. Within the synagogue, Rabbi Schwartz and everybody else is in dismay as he wonders how the light will be lit at sundown without the oil. And like a block away, the man walks down a large alley, unaware of the dark angel flying above him. Meanwhile, young Danny, the boy from the beginning, overhears the adults discussing the whole not being able to light the menorah situation and races out the doors as the rabbi says that only one of God's miracles could help them now. And a few blocks away, the robber discovers his shadowy stalker lurking atop a car. Back at the synagogue, the menorah has been lit by the replacement oil that Danny brought, and their gifts have been returned. And 2 officers carry the man out of the building. This is what I've done today. I went to morning services at the Freedom Baptist Church. I was feeling almost happy. I called my wife, my ex-wife, at her sister's house. She couldn't come to the phone. I helped serve dinner at the homeless shelter. I called Lynn again. She had just left. I delivered some food baskets to the poor. I left a message on Lynn's machine. Now I'm knocking at the door of the royal family's party center. Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. So, Black Lightning blows the door down, and he and his cop buddy, Tommy Colavito, break into the safe house of the royal family to save this guy named Dell's family. Then, Black Lightning tells them both to just wait here and give the family a couple of minutes to become as every bit as afraid as Dell was. Dell used to be a member of the royal family. He called himself G Cool back then. He broke with the gang to keep a bunch of baby G's from getting slaughtered. I helped him and his family get out of town and start a new life. I didn't expect to see him again. And I know I never want to see anyone else look that desperate and that frightened, especially on Christmas Day. The royal family is the current reigning drug gang in the Brick City. They think they own the hood.
Damn, it's him! Shoot them!
I'm their personal reality check. Damn. I didn't want to hurt anyone, especially not on a day. That's not what Christmas or Kwanzaa's about. Then Black Lightning shoots a handgun out of Dell's hand and tells him that's not how they do things, and that he should have a little faith in saving his family without serious violence. Then they fist bump, and the three of them fight their way up to the 5th story in search of Dell's family. Let them go. This ain't none of your concern, brother. Get gone or she's dead. Think again. Good choice. Now spread the word. No one hassles anyone who wants to leave the family. No one. Kwanzaa only comes once a year. Next time, it's for real. 7 days and a cab ride later, Jefferson Pierce is knocking on Tommy Colavito's front door. Don't ask me why. I couldn't tell you any more than Tommy could tell you why he decided his own home was the safest place for Dell and his family to celebrate Kwanzaa. When I came to this city, it was because I believed that helping a family, a community, or a child was as important as saving the world. I still do. You bring news. Please do not kill me, Great Darkseid. He has gotten past all the perimeter defenses.
Thank you for sparing my life. Satellites disabled. Flying parademons helpless. Ground forces and air missiles are ineffective. He's here.
On the planet's surface. So easily.
No, Great Darkseid. In this room.
Ho ho ho! You're making it tougher to get here each Christmas, I'll give you that. But we each have our duties to perform, young fella, and I have to go about mine. Alright, let's see here. Definitely naughty. It's a lump of coal for you again. Do not let him leave here alive. Ho ho! Oops, gotta go! See you next year! Ho 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 ho!
The story begins on Christmas Eve, 1944, in Gotham City. A red-headed, bespectacled sailor walks mindlessly about the big streets, missing his hometown, when he's almost hit by a fucking bus. But luckily a man pulls him away from the street and then gives him a card with an address on it. The address is for the Justice Society Canteen, which is hosting a special Christmas party. Later that night, the sailor finally makes his way to the front of the line when two higher-ranking officers run up and they're like, "Hey, good work, Ensign. Yeah, thanks for holding our place in line."
Just a second, you cats. Hey, Ensign, these birds on the level?
Yeah, sure.
Get yourself in there and to keep those two in line, why don't you?
Everybody was there that Christmas Eve. Who'd have guessed the Newsboy Legion'd all graduate from Stanford in 10 years?
to create the next generation of weapons to fight the next generation of wars. And Liberty Bell. I wish I'd spent more time with her that night. Nobody knew she'd marry Johnny Quick and give birth to a new generation of hero. But enough of the future. Like I said, it's Christmas. And what about our lonely ensign? Still dazzled, he watches the two lieutenants lose a muscle flexing contest with the Guardian.
Then the ensign is brought into the challenge against the Guardian, and he's like, what if instead of the whole muscle flexing thing, we have a knot tying contest? So the ensign wins the challenge of a knot tying contest against the Guardian, and the Guardian goes to look for his prize. And before he goes, he introduces the ensign to Alan Scott, the Green Lantern, while Johnny and Thunderbolt perform stand-up comedy to a laughing and probably drunk audience. The ensign hangs out and watches the show until the Guardian shows back up with his prize. A dance with Black Canary. Black Canary asks what his assignment is, and the ensign tells her that he's just a laundry officer. And Black Canary's like, oh, I bet you've laundered some very important uniforms.
Dress whites.
I beg your pardon?
Sorry, nothing.
And the ensign makes a mental note that the lieutenant dancing over yonder has the wrong ratings on the sleeve. Just like those guys at the front door. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, Ma Hunkle yells at the Newsboy Legion and commands Atom Smasher to get mopping.
Adam, do this. Adam, do that. I ask you. Where's Dr. Fate when someone's gotta clean the toilet, huh?
Then he's struck on the back of the head by the two naval officers from the door, and he falls unconscious.
How long's it gonna take to set this thing?
No time flat.
Then this place and everyone in it's gonna be flat for a long time. Not so fast, sir. Or should I be sprechen Sie the Deutsch here?
Then the ensign fights the two German spies, but he's whacked over the head by the bundle of dynamite. Then Black Canary flies in and kicks a Kraut in the face, and the ensign clocks the other, causing the dynamite to fly into the air and lands safely in the hands of the Hourman. Black Canary asks Ensign how he figured it out, and the Ensign says that he really didn't. He's just seen enough officers dress whites to know that these guys weren't off any ship in this man's navy. Then Atom Smasher wakes up and asks Canary to take the Ensign back out to the party, while he and Hourman clean up the mess. So the two walk back out to the main room, and the Ensign asks Black Canary to, just keep that whole thing in the hallway on the DL, because they've all been heroes here for the past couple years, and it's not over yet. Then, while they're standing in the crowd, the lights dim, and on the stage, Green Lantern creates a singer, and Silent Night begins to fill the air. The kid was a natural, and he was right, of course. Everybody was a hero. We all cried a little that night, for the past, for the loved ones we'd lost, for the present, all we really have when you think about it, and for the future, about which we can't do a damn thing. So, Ensign James Gordon was right on the money. Even before he got out of the naval blues and put on the uniform of a police officer, he knew. Some seasons just bring out the hero in everybody. Costumed, uniformed, or not. December 25th, 1944, Bastogne, Belgium. I've got it here, Nightwing. I've been in Gotham for half an hour and already I've overstayed my welcome? Not at all. But considering the date, I suspect you have somewhere to be. Yeah, well, actually, yeah, wait a minute, how did you? Don't let me hold you up. We'll see you later this evening. In the meantime, please tell her I said hello.
You've got mail.
At the Gotham Clock Tower, Barbara Gordon, formerly Batgirl and currently Oracle, sits in front of her computer typing an email when Dick Grayson shows up outside her window with Chinese food. Out on the balcony, Dick and Babs look out over Gotham, and Barbara asks if he was late because he was protecting it. How could I be late when you told me not to come at all?
Like this was gonna be the first year you listened?
I just figured I heard you wrong.
Mm-hmm. I suppose not listening is an important skill for brilliant young detectives to practice.
Hey, did I ever tell you I used to think Mistletoe was a villain? Some guy who shot missiles from his feet or something, and I was gonna refuse to, mix it up with him just because of his stupid name.
This is coming from the guy who used to fight Crazy Quilt?
Excuse me, miss. I did battle with Killer Moth?
Okay. Neither of us has discretion.
How about you? You've got an eidetic memory. When have you ever misheard anything?
I told you before about how when I was a kid, I used to wonder what New Year's had to do with a song about an old lane sign.
Yeah. I remember I used to be able to make you blush just by singing, "Should old acquaintance be forgot?"
You can stop now, thank you. There have been a few times since then when I would have given anything to take a stroll down that old lane.
I know what you mean.
No, you don't. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to snap. Speaking of mistakes... Barbara, hey.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean anything. What happened to you wasn't a mistake. What did you do, open a door? I would have done the same. Batman would. Then he's cut off by Barbara telling him she got him a gift. Not much. Just a little piece of mistletoe on a card. Then she tells Dick that she doesn't think she's gonna make it till midnight and that she wants to go to bed. And says that she'll talk to him later. Dick's like, yeah, I've got, something to do anyway. Good night, Barbara. Then Barbara rolls back into her office and finds a gift. A street sign for Old Lane. The end. Well, I hope you've all enjoyed this year's holiday special. Let me know what you thought of the story, and if you have any suggestions for comics I should read or review. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays, and I'll see you next time for the final episode of 2018. Damn, time sure flies fast. Bye!